We're putting more into the news.
Good evening, I'm Lorne Saxberg. These are tough times for Canadian unity, but today, all across Ontario, as in the rest of the country, people were toasting Canada's future with optimism. It was National Neighbourhood Party Day, part of the celebrations leading up to Canada's 125th birthday. Mike Wise took in some of the festivities.
Happy birthday! It had to be one of the biggest parties in the country, or at least one of the longest. Thousands of people lined up along a 7-kilometer stretch of road in Oakville this afternoon to raise a toast to Canada's birthday. It was a symbol of unity that left some lasting impressions.
There we go. That's for Canada.
I think it's just terrific. I think we've done a great job, and I think we should do this thing every year.
Actually, I'm always psyched up for Canada. It's just something I live for, and always proud to be a Canadian.
We've provided a venue for people to stand side by side with their neighbours and to say we're not waving that flag enough. We're not putting the difficulties we have in perspective because they're really minor.
This event was just one of many ways to celebrate National Neighbourhood Party Day. That idea started a few years ago in Winnipeg thanks to this woman, Joni Halis. Last year, she encouraged Canadians to hold their own neighbourhood parties across the country. She thought that if people got to know others in their communities, then the country might feel a little closer together. That's what happened along this street in North Toronto this afternoon. These neighbours blocked off the road, put up some flags, and held their own celebrations.
We're just here to have a good time and send a message that we want to enjoy ourselves, make sure there's a great country for our kids, and that they grow up in a place that's safe and open, and that they realize how fortunate they are.
Michael Wise, CBC News, Toronto.
And in Ottawa, they held a neighbourhood party as part of the celebrations leading up to Canada Day. The party was held on Victoria Island, halfway between Ottawa and Hull, Quebec. One of the highlights was the symbolic linking of hands across the bridge between the two provinces as people lined up and saluted their neighbours. In Windsor, the salute to Canada was marked with a walk to raise money for a good cause. It was called the Super Cities Walk and Neighbourhood Party, and close to 1,100 people took part. The goal of that event was to raise $35,000 for multiple sclerosis research. The goal was reached easily. In fact, it was doubled, with more than $70,000 raised for charity. Well, our next story deals with spirit of a different sort. Do you believe in ghosts? Lately, an Ottawa woman has been having some pretty scary and strange things happen in her apartment. She doesn't think